The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's Platinum Session with your host, Todd Walters.
Thank you, Andrea. Hope everyone's doing really well today out there selling houses. Well, right now you're in front of your computer, hopefully getting geared up for a Platinum lead conversion training session. Now, I guess it was almost 10 years ago when Craig and I were putting the Platinum program together. And we realized how important it was to our businesses at the time, our inside sales agents, as well as our outside sales agents that were responsible for picking up the phone, calling back the leads, getting those leads to agree to meet, to get face-to-face for an appointment. Now, the reason we realized it was so important is because without that face-to-face meeting, without getting in front of them, we never really were able to consistently convert business. See, the way the majority of the real estate community does it is they get a lead from somebody, and they talk to them on the telephone, and they use their personality, maybe offer to send some properties to, and they do that. They just send properties to, and then if they get enough people that they're sending homes to, the belief is that one of them, somebody, will call them up and say, hey, I want to go see one of these houses. It really doesn't work consistently that way at our level. And the level that you, on your team, or if you're a team leader at your business, that you want it to get to, you've got to do a great job of not just picking up the phone and calling. That's easy. Anybody can do that. But it's when you get them on the telephone, really, really closing for a face-to-face appointment, and then getting them to keep the appointment so that when you get face-to-face, you do a good job, right? And I think that we can all agree that when we end up getting face-to-face with buyer and seller prospects, we do a pretty good job of turning them into clients. So we don't need to spend an awful lot of time on that, but as a sidebar on that topic, everybody on this call should be very familiar with and have downloaded on their computers, if you're out there meeting with buyers and sellers. You've got the Platinum Seller Benefits presentation and the Buyer Benefits presentation, the Platinum versions. Matter of fact, let me just bring up the coaching site here real fast. I'm going to say exactly where those are. Okay, so pay very close attention. Okay, so you're going to go to the Library tab, and then you're going to go to the File Library. And in the File Library, there's all these categories, and they're all pretty self-explanatory. For example, I can come down here to Platinum Listing Sales System. See that? Platinum Listing Sales System category link. I click on that bad boy, and when I do, over here to the right, I'm going to get all the materials under that category link. And ID number 848, right here, 848. Platinum Ultimate Seller Benefits Presentation. You will download that bad boy and modify as needed. Okay? Very important. All right, everybody should have that. Now, while I'm in the File Library, I'm going to go back up to over here to under Categories, and I'm going to click on Platinum VIP. Where's it at? Platinum VIP Buyer Systems. So hang on one second. Let me find it. There's the builders. There's the Platinum VIP Buyer Systems. Everybody see that? Oh, I'm getting a call back here that I was expecting, but I can't take it right now because I'm talking to you good folks. Okay, Platinum VIP Buyer Systems, category link, and then over here, Jay Macklin was so kind to give us his Platinum VIP Buyer presentation that he modified. That's ID 1222. And then we've got the one that I used with my real estate sales team, ID 1044. There's a little more stuff going on in the Platinum Benefits presentations on the seller side and on the buyer side. Make sure you have those. Okay? Now with that, I'm going to take you back to the home page on the coaching site. And I want to draw your attention to, on the home page, down here on the right-hand side, there's this dashboard section. Okay? you click on Platinum Webinars, and in Platinum Webinars, there's all these videos now. Whenever I do a webinar with you guys, like this one here, we record them all, okay? And we put most of them up on the coaching site, the ones that we believe are good, that we should have a record of. And I'll direct your attention back there every now and then. Now, the reason I'm taking a couple of minutes to tell you this is because it's not going to do you really any good just jump on the phone and start calling back and converting leads if you don't really have a good understanding of what it is the benefits are. That's going to allow you to do a good job of dealing with objections that they raise. So having the seller benefits presentation, the buyer benefits presentations, and knowing those benefits, they're going to serve you well. It's not that you're getting into benefits presentations over the phone with the prospects. That's what we do when we get face-to-face, right? But what it does do is that from time to time you get objections. For example, well, you know, Todd, I was planning on selling my home for sale by owner, so I really don't need to come out. Or, hey, Todd, you know, we've got another agent that sells all the homes in our neighborhood, and we were kind of leaning towards talking to them. All right, well, those are some pretty good objections right there, huh? You guys have heard those before. So knowing the benefits of your presentations backwards and forwards will allow you to effectively deal with those types of things. Because those people that raise those kinds of objections, that's now business, and you got to be a little more bolder and forceful in your dialogue. And we're going to talk about that here in a minute. Okay, so two things I want to show you on the video, the training videos. Number one is 2009-1116 ID number is the Platinum VIP Buyer System. From the time you get on the phone with a prospect, closing them for a face-to-face appointment, getting face-to-face with them, the buyer benefits presentation, what to say, what to do, how to close them to become your client. Okay? So that's the training apparatus, the video that talks all about that. Okay? You can see that. All right? The other one, dealing with sellers, is right here, 211-0830. How to turn every seller prospect you generate into a come list me. Okay, that's the whole training apparatus, video, soup, nuts, bolts, everything, kitchen sink, having to do with talking to a seller prospect over the phone, turning them into an appointment, getting face-to-face with them, and running through the whole benefits presentation and closing into a client. So those two webinars and those two benefits presentations, the PowerPoints, those are things that most of you on this call should have. If you're an inside sales agent, you want to be very familiar with these, okay, because you'll benefit from it. All right. So when Craig and I said, you know, the lead conversion aspect of this is so important, it's the last thing we want to really delegate. Like, we're really, really careful because without getting the appointments, your business never really gets off the ground. Okay? Well, let's look at a couple of things here. I want to talk about some important points and deal with some of the comments and questions you guys have on lead conversion here and give you some pointers that will make your job easier. Okay? First of all, I get weekly questions from Platinum Program members about leads that come from these kinds of marketing that you see on your screen right now, like, you know, find out what your home is worth online, or find out what homes in your neighborhood are selling for. Really doesn't matter, but leads that are primarily not expecting your call. So let's be honest about it. When you get a lead from this ad that you see on your screen right now, the prospect is not expecting your call. They're just ordering the information. Everybody get that? Okay. So what happens if the prospect on this ad, find out what your home is worth online, they go to the web address and they fill in the form to get their home evaluation. They're not expecting your call, are they? What happens if they don't provide their phone number? You have an email address, but no phone number. So let me reset it up again. Here's the question. No email address, no phone number. But obviously you get their email address because they submitted the form. What do? Well, Craig and I are of the opinion that you just don't do much. That if you don't have good phone numbers from people, the amount of energy and time that it takes to email and try to get them to provide you with their phone number and all these things, it's just not a great use of time. So over the years and years and years and years and years and years of chasing people down or trying to chase people down without a phone number, we just have not found that to be really good water to go fishing in. Okay, so I want to maybe be really clear on this. Craig and I believe you should spend your time with the prospects. All right, hang on, let me get this. Keep the current color scheme. Don't show me this message. All right. So Craig and I believe that your time is much better spent on lead conversion, following up with prospects that you have phone numbers for. Okay? So I'm a huge fan of the information line because I'm going to get their phone number. All right? Maybe not get their email address, but I'm going to get their phone number when they call the info line. It's got caller ID on it. I got it. Okay? So I had a question a little bit ago from a Platinum member that said, hey, well, what do we do if we don't have we got their phone number, but they didn't leave a message? I said, well, it's kind of the same thing as if you have their contact information, like their email address, but they didn't leave a phone number. Okay? It's just not a great use of your time calling people back that did not request anything. So if you get calls to your information line and they don't request anything from you, they just hang up, it's not a great use of time. Those are low priority people to respond to. But since you have their phone number and you got nothing else to do, you've caught up on all your leads and you've already caught, and you want to dive into some of these people that hang up and don't leave a message, okay, here's what you do. Okay, but before I tell you what to do and show it to you, I want to be really clear. It's not a high priority use of your time. Follow it with people that do not leave a message, like hang up on your information line, or don't provide you with a phone number on your form submittals from your website. Low percentage water, okay? But some of you keep asking these questions, so I may, if everything else is caught up, everything's done, and I got nothing to do but twiddle my thumbs, then I might phone people back on the information line, all right, that didn't leave a message. Okay, so let's pull up the universal callback script. We shrink this bad boy down, and let's take a look at it. So the thing that throws everybody off here when calling leads back, like that hung up, on the information line, and again, I'm reluctant to even bring this up on this call, on this webinar, but I'm going to address it, okay, is what do you say? Well, to me, it's the same thing as following up with someone that you talked to 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 6 months ago. To expect that the person's going to remember me in our conversation 6 months prior, that's a mistake. Okay, so here's how you address that. Here's how you talk to them on the telephone immediately. Okay, you ready? Now, I don't know their name because they hung up, right? I got nothing. I got no name. So my call would go something like this. Hey, this is Todd Walters with Optimus Real Estate Brokers, and the reason I'm calling is you had contacted us not too awful long ago about real estate. And I just thought I'd follow up to see if you guys have made a move yet. You got that? All right, so I'll repeat it for you. Now again, this is I'm calling somebody back. They hung up. I got no name, but I got their phone number. And I got nothing else to do, so I'm calling them. Okay. Hey, this is Todd Walters with Optimus Real Estate Brokers. And the reason I'm calling is you had contacted us not too awful long ago. And I thought I'd follow up to see if you guys have made a move yet. Okay, so you got that? Oh, I got to repeat it again? Okay, I'll repeat it one more time. Hey, this is Todd Walters with Real Estate Brokers, and the reason I'm calling is you had contacted us not too awful long ago about real estate, and wanted to follow up and see if you guys have made a move yet. And it's either yes or no. Well, are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? Do you currently rent, or do you own the home that you're in? Do you have an agent to help you when the time is right? And make the appropriate offer. Okay? So there you go. That's how you deal with that. Like that? Okay. So that'll get that out of the way, because we don't want to deal with that much anymore. Low percentage water. Okay? So let me repeat that one more time for you. These kinds of leads here, calling on this type of ad, okay, they don't call. They send an email. They go to the website, fill in their form, and you get their information without a phone number. It's just not a high priority use of your time to start emailing them different offers and trying to get them to give you their phone number. I just don't think it's worth the effort. Okay? So that's why you don't see much, we spend much time talking about it. So we just want to make sure we're clear. You're way better off following up with people you got phone numbers for, which leads me to this type of ad where you have a phone number from the person, but they didn't leave you a message. Is it the same thing? And the answer is, yeah, low percentage water. But since you got a phone number and you want to call them up, you got nothing else going on in your life, okay, or business, which I doubt, but I told you what you say. It's the same thing that you say when you follow up with prospects that you had talked to a few months ago. So let's talk about that. Okay. So many of you right now are generating quite a few leads that are future business. Right? You talked to a prospect yesterday. They were a little wishy-washy. They came in off an editorial ad, for example, and they're not really sure when they're going to make a move, but they are going to do it. You know, why don't you call me back in like 6 months? Okay, so what do? Well, first thing you do is you schedule a call for half the time that they say. Okay? And when you call them back in half the time that they say, your phone call goes something like this. Hey, Mr. Smith, this is Todd Walters with Optimus Real Estate Brokers. And we had talked not too awful long ago about real estate. And I just want to call up and see if you guys had sold your home yet. Or I wanted to follow back up and see if you guys had bought a new home yet. And that's it. Mr. Smith, hey, this is Todd Walters with Optimus Real Estate Brokers, and the reason I'm calling is you had contacted us not too awful long ago about real estate, and as a courtesy, just want to follow up and see if you guys have sold your home yet. Are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? And run through the script. Okay, so all those follow-up calls that you're making, those leads that you have that are wishy-washy, not quite sure, you're going to follow up with them in the future, okay? Your call back to all of those leads, which many of you have right now on your day planner, on your day timer, on your contact management. You're having to call these leads that you talked to 6, 8 months ago, a year ago, whenever it was, 4 months ago, whenever. That's how we address them. All right. Now, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page, you know, continuing with that little theme there. I want to get into being on the same page with what we do with the future business, because this is worth a lot of money to you, right? You're generating, you know, leads. The majority of the leads you're going to generate always are going to be future business. That's the way it's always going to be for you. It's just up to you on how you want to leverage that. Some agents don't pay any attention. Some agents are aggressively good at follow-up, like Craig Proctor and I were, and you know, we generated lots of listings from future business. Okay, so let's take a look at how we deal with that. So, as an example, I get a prospect on the telephone. I run through the script. Hey, Mr. Smith, this is Todd Walters with Optimus Real Estate Brokers, and the reason I'm calling is I received your request for the 6 mistakes to avoid when moving up to your next home free report. And I just wanted to let you know we've sent that over there to you. So you should have that, you know, just any moment, any day. Is that okay? And the seller says, yeah. Hey, are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? Yeah, we're not really sure, Todd. Okay. Were you going to plan to stay in the area, or are you going to move away? Yeah, we're going to stay in the area. So if you were to move, when do you think that might be? It's probably going to be more like, 8 months. Okay. And then what am I going to do? If I've got a guy that's 8 months, I'm just not going to try to close him for an appointment right now, right? So what am I going to offer? Right. I am going to offer him the Market Watch newsletter. There it is. So anybody that I can't close for an appointment right now that's future business, this is the offer. Well, Mr. Smith, would you like to receive our free monthly newsletter to keep you in touch with what's happening in the marketplace? And I think just about always the answer is yeah. Okay, so now what? Well, here it is right here for longer term prospects. Mr. Smith, we'll get that newsletter set up. You'll receive that every month, and it'll keep you in touch with what's going on in the marketplace, and we appreciate that. Hope you enjoy it. Hey, would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time? When do you think is a good time for me to call you back? That's it. So the prospect will tell you when to follow back up with them, and you're going to schedule a call in half of that time on your contact management system just to be sure you don't mess it up. So what's going to happen is you've got the lead. You can't close them from an appointment right now. They're just not ready. They're future business. You offer the Market Watch newsletter. That's the offer you make. Okay? And then for those longer term prospects, you ask if it's okay to follow back up in the future. When's a good time for me to call you back then? See how things are going. And they tell you. Right? So what's going to happen is that call is going to be scheduled in your contact management system for half the time that they said. Right? And they're going to be receiving every month your monthly newsletter. Some sort of follow-up in the mail from you and your team. It's important it gets done. Okay? It's going to make the job easier when you call them back. And if their motivation should change, there's a good chance they'll contact you as a result of getting your stuff. Okay? Very, very important you do this. Otherwise, you lose an awful lot of leverage when you get ready to when you get ready to call them back. You know, it's just really cold. Right? Okay, so anyway, those are a couple of things I wanted to address right out of the chute here with you, on these leads. What to say to prospects that are longer term. What do we do with the leads that we get that we have no phone numbers with? What do we do with the leads that we get that have phone numbers but no contact information or names? They just hung up. So there's 3 big points that we've set up there for you. I also started out the training program today by giving your attention to what you must have. The seller benefits presentation, the buyer benefits presentation, and the training videos that go along with those for you and your team, inside, outside sales agents, to be very familiar with and even have downloaded to their laptops. All right, so we're good with that? Great. All right, so now let's talk about a little more aggressive follow-up, and then we'll get into some scripting and some role play things that I want to talk about. On the coaching site, library, file library. Where is that? Click file library. All right. Second category down is Dan Kennedy material. All right, I'm going to click on the Dan Kennedy material. And the reason it's called Dan Kennedy material is because Mr. Kennedy wrote all of this material for us. He's licensed it to us. Platinum members exclusively to use. As long as you're a platinum member, we can use this material. It's copywritten. It's licensed to platinum members from Mr. Dan Kennedy. So let's put on that. Okay? So in this category link, there's all of these flyers. You're lucky, who writes the ad, who hires us, blah, 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 blah. So when I'm sending my monthly newsletter, okay, to these prospects for follow-up, if indeed it is a seller prospect or they have a home to sell, I'm going to be throwing in a couple of these flyers. Okay, and I'll just hand pick a couple. Okay, for example, a lottery ticket. All right, so I may choose the lottery ticket flyer, How likely is it your home will actually get sold by the agent you choose to sell it? Okay, give me an example of what that looks like. You can modify to fit. Okay, and I may throw in the proprietary services, or the 6 seller satisfaction guarantees, or our team approach. A couple of flyers in with that monthly newsletter to the seller prospects. Okay, did I get that? All right, so just to give you a little edge on your follow-up there. You can't go wrong by branding the leads that you get after you get them, that are especially the seller prospects. Okay, now some of you are saying, well, what about buyers? Okay, well, buyers want houses. All of the buyer leads that you get are pretty much getting pictures and descriptions from you, or snapshots along the way. So they're getting that plus your monthly newsletter. So the monthly newsletter is going out, and at the same time they're getting information on houses for sale. Everybody get that? That's how buyers work. That's what buyers want. If they have a house to sell, they're getting the monthly newsletter, and they're getting a couple of these flyers inserted with it. Okay? Plus, remember, I'm calling them back in half the time that they say. That's a simple, effective follow-up system. It doesn't need to be complicated. But they better be getting something from you that you can that will keep you top of mind, on the forefront, okay, in front of the competition, and don't be late with your follow-up calls. That's why Craig and I say half the time that they say on these future leads. All right, great job. Okay, now let's go back to the callback script, and let's do this. All right, we've got quite a few people on the call, and some of you are really, really good at calling back leads and just turning them all to appointments. Some of you are having some I just got a text from my mother that says that my stepfather's biopsy was cancer. So he's been struggling with prostate cancer for a while. His name is Jerry Johnson. So if you could do me a favor and keep him, my stepdad, in your prayers, that'd be great. He's been struggling with it, among a bunch of other health issues. And he's a great guy, a lot of fun. So it was really, really sad right now, and I just got that text. I'll call her when we get done with our call here and chit-chat a little bit. But since it caught my attention, I got your attention. It won't hurt to have a few other people keeping Jerry Johnson, my stepdad, in your prayers, and I'm sure some of you guys have been through this kind of thing before. So feeling bad for my mom right now. So anyway, back on our call here. Some of you are doing really good at calling back the leads and getting appointments. Some of you understand the power of leverage on making those calls. If the prospect's getting something from you every month, that's a future prospect that you talked to a few months ago. You know how easier it makes your conversion ratio when you get them back on the phone, doing it that way. And some of you are really struggling. Many of you are struggling with these HDX, IDX leads. They're getting, you're giving them pictures, descriptions, and now you got to call them up, and you've already given away your offer here. Look at this. This is the universal callback script. Okay. The offer that we make is, would you like daily updates of homes that match your home buying criteria from all the real estate companies out there? Okay. So what happens if they're already getting that? What do you offer then? So some of you are really struggling here with that. But the thing is, if they're already getting these kinds of things from me, what's better than that? What's something better I can offer them? Hey, let's go look at the house. Okay, let's go look at this house. So just because I say, let's go look at your favorite house there that you have saved, or let's go look at, I've got 2 houses here that I think you should take a look at. That doesn't mean that you just rush out there and show the homes. You're just using getting into these really good homes as leverage to close for your face-to-face appointment. So when they say, yes, let's do that, you can say, okay, why don't we meet at 10 o'clock at my office, okay, on Saturday, and we'll come in and we'll take a look at some paper. I think there may be 2 or 3 others that might fit the bill as well, and we'll just make sure, and we'll just go take a look at it. Or you close for an appointment at their house before you go look at these properties. And you take that opportunity to show them what it is you do, present your benefits to them, and close them and working with you exclusively as a VIP buyer. Okay, that's a pretty simple process. But since some of you are struggling with that, I think that what you want to do right now is you want to go to the webinar control panel up in the upper right-hand section of your computer monitor. You see that? Okay, and I really want you to jump on there and let's do some role playing. Okay, so I'm going to get Andrea here, our operator, and she's going to be able to take your questions that you're going to raise your hand and ask. She's going to sift and sort through them, but I really want to role play through some of this with you. Now, I'm really good. I've made thousands and thousands and thousands of calls over the 24 years of being in this industry. I don't know what the number is. And when I got on the phone with a prospect, there was a pretty good chance I could close them to an appointment. But that doesn't mean that I wanted to have the appointment with the prospect. So as Andrea, and as you're raising your hand and you're saying that you want to talk to me or you're asking a question here, and Andrea's sifting through that, let me just address that real fast. The rule on sellers is this. Okay, you ready? If the seller has to sell their home, if the seller must make a move, they have to move. They have to sell. So who would fall into that category? First of all, before I tell you what we do with them, let's suppose it's a guy, it's a family, they own a house now, but they have a new construction property that's being built that's going to be done in 60 days. Okay, they have to move, or they're going to be owning two houses. Okay, guy's been job, they're getting a divorce. I could go on, but people who have to sell their home must move. The rule is that we go to their house regardless of their perception of price. We take the listing regardless of what we can come up with on price. We don't lose a seller over price if they have to sell and have to move. You get that? All right, so just want to make sure we get that in there, because some of you guys are calling me and say, well, this guy's really ridiculous on his price. I didn't even go to the listing. Does he really have to move? Yeah, they got to move. They're stupid. They got two houses, or they own a house. They got a new home being built, or he's already been transferred out. The wife is living in a house. He's already in another city, and they're ridiculous on their price. So I didn't even go. I'm like, well, they're just going to end up listing the home, and whoever they list with, they're just going to lower the price and sell it. They have to sell. So you get what I'm talking about. It's unrealistic for us to think that we can convince everyone of the right price to list their house at if it's a seller. In a 30, 45-minute, hour-long conversation looking at a CMA, it's just really hard. There's too many outside influences. We can do it most of the time really well because we're good at it, right? We've got good training on this. But there's going to be some times where it's just hard. It's just not going to happen. So the rule is you never lose a listing over price. So if you're trying to figure out when you go in the appointment or not, or book the appointment or not, that's your rule. Do they have to move? Do they have to sell? If the answer is yes, go. Slam dunk them. Same thing with the buyers. I want a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath, all brick, full basement with the pool, 3-car garage on this 1-acre lot for $150,000. So you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my God. What are these people smoking? And but if they have to move, they're going to make a move. They are in that situation where they need to. You'd be foolish not to close on an appointment and help them figure it out and educate them along the way, because they're going to have to buy. All right. So those are some of the rules in dealing with prospects on it. All right. So let's do this. Let's get to Andrea here, and let's bring on Andrea. Andrea, I know we've got a few people that have raised their hand. Hopefully, we're going to be able to get some role playing going. So don't be shy. Let's address some of your issues that you're having over the phone with these prospects right now. That's what this call is all about. So Andrea, let's take a look at our our list here of folks that got something to say, and let's just go through it.
Yes, sir. Our first guest is Vic McCarrion. Your mic is now open.
Yeah, hi, Todd.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, hi, sir. I would like to do the role play, but I have a couple of questions. One of them about the postcard. There was a URL in the front. They always teach us that and put that 800 number on the back. Should I change the URL on the front also, put an 800 number? Should I change GlendaleHomePrice.com and put an 800 number?
Okay, so this is your card?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but the offer is find out what your Glendale home is worth online.
I know. That's why I was thinking if you can give me some tips to do it, because I agree with you. Most of my leads are the one with the 800 number. They have the right numbers, and I'm great with it. But with the website, with the URLs, they
Well, it would be a completely different offer, Vic. I mean, it wouldn't be find out what your home is worth online if you were going to tell them to call a phone number.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's why I was thinking, what do you suggest me to do,
Yeah, so it would be a completely different offer. We haven't been able, that's why we have it on the back stated a different way. That is the different offer with the phone number.
Okay, sir. So we stick with that then. And the second question, please. Yesterday I was listening to the orientation. There were some cities I can add in my, I tried to learn from the coaching side to add cities that I work in for referral for other people. I didn't know how to do that. Should I call you guys later on about that, or, the cities that I work in?
So what is it you're trying to accomplish?
Some people, for example, from Florida or Washington, they want to send referral to me, or I want to send referral to them. How can I find what cities they work or what cities, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, now that I understand what you're asking me, okay, so here's what you do. So on the computer screen is the coaching site.
Yes, sir.
And up here is this little Proc Talk tab.
Yes.
So you just go up there and you post a topic.
Yes.
Okay, and you say, I have a referral in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay.
Who's available in Washington, D.C. for this referral? Okay, and you'll get some people that'll raise their hand and say, hey, I'm in Washington, and that's how you can start the relationship process with that. But we've got, like there's a couple of hundred platinum members in the program, okay? So so we don't have a roster online with everybody's contact information for obvious reasons, because people will abuse the list, try to sell them stuff, hijack it, sell it. We've had some issues. So this is the way that the proper way to do that. Just post a message on Proctor.
Cool. And how about my section? For example, I work 6-7 cities. How can I have to update my profile or something?
Yeah, you can do that, but that doesn't mean people are going to find it or know it. If somebody has what I'm saying is if someone has a referral for another Platinum Program member,
yes,
just go to Prod Talk and post it.
That's awesome. That's one way.
Yeah, you're going to get the email. So let's suppose that I have a referral for Glendale.
Yes.
Okay, but I don't know you. So I just go to Proc Talk, I click the topic, and I type in here, hey, I've got a referral for Glendale area. Who works at Glendale? And you would respond.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then, there may be 2 or 3 other agents that respond at the same time, but we don't really have. There's only 200 platinum members across the entire North American continent, so it's not like we're stepping on each other's toes frequently.
So cool. So all you have to do is put the city and say add post, and that's it.
Yeah, and let's talk about this for a minute because this will benefit everyone. A lot of you do get leads from out of state. Okay, everybody listening right now, when you get your email, somebody fills out a form online, you get it. They want to buy a home in your area, but they live out of town. That is absolutely worth the referral fee by trying to find another Platinum Program member that's in that area. And this is how you do it right here via Proc Talk. It's just a little bit of effort, and it can create a little extra income stream. We would make between $50,000 to $100,000 a year just in referral fees from program members. Okay, I want to make sure everybody's takes advantage of that. I'm glad you brought that up, Vic.
Yes. Yes, and okay, so do you think we can, because I have a client looking in Vegas, I don't work there. So what we're going to do is that okay if I do a role play with you?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Okay, let's assume you are a seller, want to sell your property in 6 months to a year, and you just did the 800 number looking for properties around your home area, you know?
So like I called on this ad here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're calling me back?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ring, ring, hello.
Yeah, hi, can I speak with Mr. Walter, please?
This is he.
Yeah, hi, Mr. Walter. This is Vic with Markarian Realty. The reason I'm calling, I got your request for finding homes around your neighborhood selling. I just want you to know I'm preparing it. You should receive it shortly. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine, thanks.
By the way, Mr. Walter, are you folks planning on making a move next 3 to 6 months?
Yes, we are.
If you were to move, Mr. Walter, would you be staying locally or moving out of your area?
Okay, why are you asking me that?
Oh, I was just curious, Mr. Walter, to see if you know I can help you in any way.
Okay, so so as soon as I throw a wrench in your scripting, then you get off message, right?
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
do that.
that's okay.
Right? But realistically, I was, apart from our role play, I'm just trying to figure out why you're asking me that question if I'm staying in the area or moving away.
Oh, okay.
Why is it relevant?
Oh, because I want to know your selling part because it is important. I was told, like your buying part. Where are you going to buy?
But why?
Because if I know how soon you want to buy and how motivated you want to buy, your selling.
But look, what's the purpose of your call?
My purpose of my call to make an appointment.
Okay,
To
all
find
right.
the
So
motivation.
let's make sure that that's the purpose of the call.
Yeah.
So the thing that you want to do is you want to get to the offer as quickly as possible because that's the purpose of your call.
Yes.
Is to make them an offer to get face-to-face, either as a buyer or seller prospect.
Yeah.
So once you realize it's a seller prospect,
Yes.
okay, all right, are you planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And you already know I'm a seller. You think I'm a seller prospect. So
Yeah.
asking whether I'm staying in the area and moving away, I just don't see as a relevant question. So the biggest problem that I see with most members is because there are 6 questions on here, they feel compelled to ask all of them. And that's not it. If you know the answers to the questions, number one, we don't need to ask them. Okay? So if I flip this around on you and I say, hey, are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? You say, yeah. Okay? And I say, great. Do you have an agent to help? That's right. And the answer is no. And then I make you my offer.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
And
You live in the area. You've requested a report on what homes in your neighborhood are selling for. Okay? And the only thing I may not be sure of, depending on whether you filled out a form or not, you have a house to sell. I mean, because that's the question on the form. If I don't know the answer, I'll ask you. I say, the home that you're in right now, are you guys renting or do you own it? Okay? So, to back up, are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? Yes. Hey, the home that you're in right now, are you renting or do you own it? Now, that is a relevant question if I don't know the answer on that kind of lead. Okay? Because sometimes people that are renting houses get these postcards and they're interested in buying another home and they want to get an idea of what things are out there going for, right? That does happen.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I'm making the right offer to the right individual. So if I'm not sure, then I'll ask.
Yeah.
Okay? But if it's a buyer and he's wanting to know what homes are selling for in the area, it doesn't make sense to me to say, hey, are you staying in the area or moving away?
that's true.
I don't need to know the answer to that question. It's irrelevant. And if it's a seller, and I know they're a seller, and they're trying to figure out what homes are selling for in their area, it doesn't matter whether they're moving away at this moment in time. I'm just trying to get an appointment with them. So I'm trying to get to the offer as quickly as possible. So the thing that I want to make really clear on here, regardless of what anybody tells you in our programs, is that your job is to establish motivation and timing. And once you know it, make the offer.
Okay.
Okay? Are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? Yes. The home that you're in right now, are you guys renting or do you own? No, it's our house. Do you have an agent to help you when the time is right? No. Would you like a free market evaluation to determine what you can sell for? And, I can give you some tips on what to do and more what not to do to get the most amount of money when you get ready to sell, and go over, all the costs you'll have, so you know how much you have left in your pocket at closing. That's free of charge. There's no obligation to list or sell your home. Does that sound like something that would be helpful right now? So that's it. So we don't need to ask some of these questions unless we get wishy-washy answers. Okay? For example, these questions here, number 3 and number 4. These are for wishy-washy people. For example, are you planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? We're not sure. So you got to get more. You got to pin them down a little bit to see if they're really not sure or if they really just don't want to talk. Yeah. Anyway, so the best advice I can give you, Vic, to get more appointments is to get to the point as quickly as possible when and try not to mix in questions that aren't necessary. Now, but I understand you're looking at a script. It's a universal callback script. It's got a bunch of questions on there. We could even put more on here, because somebody throws a wrench in it like I did. And like, what are you asking me that question for? And then you kind of lost message there.
Yes. And how you overcome that question that you asked me?
Just stick with the script.
Okay.
Like, why are you asking me that question? Oh, we just want to provide you with the right information. So I just get back to the script.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that we're providing you with the right information you're requesting. Do you have an agent to help you when the time is right, when you get ready to make a move? Just get back on script.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's there for. So, but anyway, let's role play it again.
Okay.
And we'll move on to the next. We got. Okay, so you ready?
Yes.
Okay, ring ring. Hello.
Yeah, hi. Can I speak with Mr. Walter, please?
This is Mr. Walter.
Mr. Walter, this is Vic with Markarian Realty. The reason I'm calling, you requested homes sold around your neighborhood. I just want you to know I prepared it and you should receive it shortly. I hope that's okay.
All right, so let me stop you. You always want to approach your prospects from a position of fulfillment.
Yes.
So you want to tell them that you've sent it to them. You want to get it out of your hands.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's very important. I want to be able to tell them that whatever you've asked for, it's on it. You've got it. I've sent it over to you. I put it in the mail. It's gone. It's out of my hands.
Yes.
You really want to try to make sure that you approach these guys from a position of fulfillment. So if you look at the script, it's pretty clear on that. Okay.
Yes.
I popped that in the mail to you, or we've sent that on over to you. Is it? All right. So just make sure you're really clear on that, so that the laws of reciprocity are on your side.
Yeah.
There is a universal law of reciprocity, by the way.
That's right.
All right. So let's do it one more time. You ready?
Yes. So,
all right, so hello.
I just going to say, are you folks planning on making a move next 3 to 6 months?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're not really sure. I want to. My wife doesn't.
Okay. And when do you think that might be?
Well, like I said, it depends on what my wife decides.
And by the way, when the time is right, Mr. Walter, do you have a realtor to help you?
Do what?
To sell your home?
No, we don't.
And when the time is right, Mr. Walter, again, would you be listing your home first, or you prefer to list your home first, then purchase a home, or you prefer to purchase, then list your home?
No, we need to sell this house before we buy anything.
And are you guys, you and your wife have any motivation to move someplace in the neighborhood or outside the city? Do you have any clue, Mr. Walter?
Yeah, we've got an idea, of where we want to be. Yeah.
And would it be okay if I follow up with you in later time, since you're not familiar and you don't know when exactly you guys are going to move?
Well, like I said, I want to move now. My wife, she's coming around.
Okay, that's great. Mr. Walter, would you like to get a free home evaluation to determine the value of your home? And I can also go over, Mr. Walter, to give you tips what to do and not to do to sell your home for the most amount of money. And
Okay, all right. So, I'm going to move on, Vic. But you need lots of practice here.
Yes, sir.
Like you need lots of practice. I'm going to make some recommendations on the coaching site.
Yes.
I can pull it up here. Under the recorded calls library, recorded calls library.
Okay.
There's a call. I'm going to get into the recorded calls library. It should be Platinum Inside Sales Training under Platinum Calls.
Okay.
It's going to be right here.
Okay.
2007-02-13. Craig Proctor, Todd Walters, and James McDonald hit grand slams,
Okay.
or whatever the title is. This is a call you should listen to a couple of times.
Yes, sir.
It's about an hour and a half long, and it's me, and it's Craig, and it's James, and we're going through the universal callback script, 9 ways to Sunday, upwards and downwards, on some of the things that you and I just talked about.
Okay, sir.
All right. But the point that I want to make with you is make the offer.
Yes.
Just get to the offer as quickly as you can. But before you get to the offer, what you're trying to do is to decide which offer am I making. Is it the buy first offer, or am I making the sell first offer?
Okay.
Okay. And if there any way looks like a thumbs up on considering making a move in the next 3 to 6 months, I'm getting to the offer of the buy first or sell first.
Okay.
All right. All right, we got to move on. We got to take a couple more calls here before we run out of time.
Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy. Andrea?
Our next guest is Kuldipek Goswami. Your computer mic is now open.
Oh, hi, Todd. I go by Sonny. Keep it easier for everybody. So, yeah, I'd actually like to role play maybe for the same home evaluation. That's a lead that I got, and I'd just like to follow up with them. So they provide.
All right, so I'll be the seller, prospect.
Okay.
And you're calling me back. So you ready? Ring, ring, hello.
Yes. Oh, hi. Is Todd available?
Let's see.
Oh, hi, Todd. This is Sonny with Allison James Estates and Homes. And the reason I'm calling is because I received your request for information on online home evaluation. Just wanted to let you know I sent that information out to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
All right, great. So are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
Yes, we are.
And if you were to move, would you be staying in the area or moving out of the area?
We're not sure.
Okay. So do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right?
Well, my my friend at work, has an agent. We've been talking to them a little bit.
Okay. All right. And so would you like to get a free market evaluation to determine what your home would sell for? Also, I can give you tips on what to do and, more importantly, what not to do to sell your home for the most amount of money. And we can go over all the various closing costs you will incur, so you will know exactly what you'll have left in your pocket after all the expenses. It's free of charge and obligates you to nothing.
Okay, so let me stop you. So you did the same thing. You asked me this question here, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. Why you guys are doing it? Let me find it. Here it is right here. If you were to move, will you be staying in the area or moving away? And I'm trying to figure out why we're asking that question, because I said I don't even know, and it was like you didn't even ask the question. Like, so what information are you trying to gather with that? I told you, but the reason, here's why I'm asking. You already know the answer to my motivation, and it is yes, I'm planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months. Right? I said that.
Right.
Okay, so that's number one. They check off. Now business.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing that you want to know is, do I need to sell first or do I need to buy first? And then the next thing you want to know is if I have an that I'm planning on using. That's it.
Got it.
Okay. And if it's not, clear whether I have an agent or not, then guess what? It's not clear. So you proceed like I don't. And you did.
Correct.
That's good. All right, but anyway, so I just want to get everybody here on board with, let's get to the offer, and we don't need to ask questions if they're irrelevant. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out here, if a seller is staying in the area or if a seller is moving away, what does it matter to you if you're going to be making this offer? Okay?
Got it.
Does it matter? I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Sonny? Does it matter if they're staying in the area or moving away? If they're a sell first guy?
Not at all. No, it's important if.
Okay, so why is the question
buying
there?
first or selling first?
Okay, all right. So let's back up. Why is the question even here? Okay, well, it's there if you don't know the answer. For example, guy says, "Let's spin it around." Okay, and you're the prospect, and I'm the agent. Right? And you're going to be wishy-washy. Okay? You ready?
Yes.
Hey, Sonny, this is Todd Walters with Optimus Real Estate Brokers. And the reason I'm calling is I received your request for a home evaluation. And I wanted to let you know that we received your request. We put that together. We sent it on over there to you, popped it in the mail, and wanted to make sure that was okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. Are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
Not sure. I just want to see how much the houses are going for, and then you may not. I'm not sure at this stage.
Okay. So if you were to make a move, would you be staying in the area, or do you think you'll be moving away?
Again, I'm not really sure. I might have a job opportunity come up. Maybe we might move to city or state, but I'm not sure at this stage. So just
okay.
All
right. So that's why. Okay. So to answer everybody, that's why the question's there, is because when they're wishy-washy on their timing, then we've got to pull it out of them. The way you pull it out of them is to go right to, why in the world are they thinking about moving anyway? And then that will get back to the element of time. For example, if I said, if you were to move, are you planning on staying in the area or moving away? And you just said, well, if we were to move, it's probably going to be out of state because I'm looking at a job change. Okay, that's what you said. So my follow-up question would be, so when do you think that might be? And then you would tell me.
Got it.
Okay, so those two questions are there if they're wishy-washy on this one. That's it.
Understood.
Okay, so this is all revealing to me because what it tells me is that that the majority, if you guys represent the majority, and I'm not trying to give you a hard time, well, maybe I am. This is a big freaking deal. We've got to be really, really good at calling back the leads and converting them to appointments. A lead is worth $6,000 to $20,000 or more in income, depending on the lifetime value of a client. That's huge amounts of money. So you have to look at every lead like that. So that's why we want to say, man, we got to be freaking really good here at converting these people over the telephone. We got to know what to say. We got to know what offers to make. We got to be able to read between the lines. And it's not even that hard because we've got these questions. All right. But one of the first things we do with partner members is I send every new member that joins, we send them this CD. Okay, right here. This CD right here, everybody has it. It comes in the package that everybody gets in the mail when you join the program. And I'm clear on it. In the orientation webinar, and I say, look, take that CD, make copies of it, make sure everybody listens to it on your team that deals with calling back leads. Okay? It's important that we take it, we burn a copy of it, and we send it to everyone. So, because what I'm telling everybody on this call is the same thing that every new member gets when they join the program. It's on that CD. We start out by saying this, look, you got to get really good at these calls, and there's certain questions to ask in certain circumstances. You know, it's a universal callback script, and knowing how to I don't want to say interpret it, but what questions to ask when not to ask. If they already give you answers for it, we deal with all that stuff. So I want everybody to write this down. Make sure you have this call and you're going to listen to it. Because think about it. This is an hour-long training call, this little webinar today. And I'm role-playing with 2, 3, 4 people. It's impossible for everybody on these training calls to become experts at it without more training and information, correct? Okay? So that's why I'm bringing it up right now, is that if you guys will grab this call, recorded call library under Platinum Inside Sales Training, Platinum Calls Inside Sales Training, there it is. Click on Inside Sales Training, and it's going to be right there, 2007 02-13. So everybody who wants to have that, most of you should have it on CD already. It was sent to you. Go to your team leader, get a copy of it, put this in your car while you're riding around, listen to this thing 4, 5, 6 times. It's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to the team leaders, or more, millions for me personally. So that's how important this stuff is. So I don't want to understate it at all. Okay, so but I'm glad that we did that and we did the role playing on it. So, but anyway, Sonny, you still there?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, I'm using you as leverage to communicate with everybody else. I'm sure you probably figured that one out.
No,
okay, so let's
very, very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, let's role play it again. Okay, one more time, and this time I'm going to hide the script.
Okay.
So let's role play it again. You're calling me up. I'm a prospect, and you said that I responded to which ad? This ad? Find out homes in your neighborhood or something for?
Home evaluation.
Home evaluation, okay. So we'll bring up the ad just for the sake of having it up here. Okay.
Okay.
Now, odds are I own a house.
Okay. Yes,
really strong odds that I own a home and I want to know what it's worth. Odds are really small. I'm a buyer prospect, looking to buy a house, just trying to figure out what it's worth. Would you agree with that?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So we can play the odds. All right, so anyway, let's go. So ring, hello.
Oh, hi, is Todd available?
Hey, this is he.
Oh, hi, Todd. This is Sonny with Allison James Estates and Homes. The reason I'm calling is because I received your request for online home evaluation. Just wanted to let you know that I sent it out to you. Is that okay?
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So are you guys planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
Yes.
All right, and are you planning on selling your home first or buying your next home before selling this one?
No, we need to sell our home before we buy anything.
Okay, and do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right?
No, we don't.
All right. So, Todd, would you like to get a free market evaluation to determine what your home would sell for? Also, I can give you tips on what to do and what not to do to sell your home for the most amount of money. We can go over various closing costs, so you will know exactly what you'll have left in your pocket at the closing. Does that sound helpful? It's free.
I thought that's what I requested online, was to get an idea of what my home is worth.
Well, actually, based on the information you provided, I sent you an estimate of what your home would sell, but without looking at the inside of the house, I cannot really tell you exactly what you can expect to sell it for.
Okay, so probably what you want to do is on your offers with these people is just be a little more clear on that offer. So let's pull up the thing. Okay, so we'll look at the script here. Where's it at? Here it is. And let me see if I can scroll down here a little bit and get that up. Okay. You can just tell them that. Okay. Would you like a free market evaluation to determine a more accurate price of what you can expect to sell your home for?
Oh, okay. A more accurate price. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So just use that, and you should be fine.
Wonderful. Okay.
Now, you may not have to do that at all. You may just be able to do exactly what you're saying right there, because you juiced it up a little bit with the tips and in the closing cost thing, but the tendency for a lot of prospects is to say, well, let me just see what it is that you sent me, and I'll call you, right?
Right.
So we don't want that. So then you can offer the more accurate price.
Okay.
By seeing the property and just back that up with the other two things that are on the list here, the tips and cost to sell the house, and make sure you reiterate that it's no charge or obligation, and you should be able to close the majority of those prospects that say yes to moving in the next 3 to 6 months.
Wonderful.
Yeah, great job. All right, we're going to take another one. Andrea?
Yes, sir. Our next guest is Philip Doyen. Hold on a moment while I open his line. Philip, your mic is open.
Okay, can you hear me, guys?
Hey, Philip, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. And you, Todd?
I'm better than good.
Okay, just one clarification before a role play, if it's okay by you. Let's say my prospect is more than 6 months out. Should I offer the newsletter first, or should I ask if I should follow up first?
Offer the newsletter.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, you know what? Let's keep it on the groove. For me, I'm sending out postcards for online for area home sales report. So that would be 800. I'm an 800 kind of guy, so.
Okay.
That's what you would be calling me on, and you would leave a message, and I'd call you back.
Okay, you ready? Ring, ring. Hello.
Hello, may I speak with Mr. Walters, please?
This is he.
Hey, Mr. Walters, this is Philip with Groupe Mackay. Just wanted to let you know that I did receive your request for your neighborhood area home sales report, and this has been prepared and it's been set out. Is that okay by you?
Yeah. What is it again?
It's the area home sales report that you requested on my 800 line.
Oh, okay.
By the way, Mr. Walters, were you thinking of making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
Well, we're not really sure.
Okay, and if you were to move, would you be moving out of the area or would you be staying local?
We're going to stay in the area.
Okay, and if you were to move, Mr. Walters, when do you think that might be?
Probably like next year.
Okay, would you like to receive a newsletter in the meantime to keep you appraised of what's going on in the market? It's free and you're never obligated. That will help you stay in touch with the market. Is that okay by you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Would it be okay if I followed up with you later time to see if it's a good time for me to give you more information?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And when do you think that might be?
Just be a little more clear on that question there, Philip.
And if I were to ask you at what time I could give you more information, what would be a good time for me to call you back?
I would just stick to the script on what it says. For example, it says, would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time? And the answer is, yeah, sure. Okay, and when do you think would be a good time for me to call you back?
Okay.
All right, so just try to be a little more clear in your language there. And you probably are, because you talk to most of these people in French.
Yes.
Yep. So no problem. But yes, I mean, you're spot on with the future prospects and what you offer, and asking for a call back at a future time. That's fine. All right, now hold on. Let's fast forward. Let's say that it's 6 months in the future, and you're calling me. Okay.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Yeah. May I speak with Mr. Walters, please?
This is he.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Walters. This is Philip with Groupe Mackay. We spoke a while ago about information you requested on real estate, and I was wondering if you folks are planning to make a move in the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, we've already sold our house.
Oh, that's great. So now I'm screwed.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen much. So anyway, I just wanted to so yeah, that's the right approach there. You go right into the script. You know, hey, this is Philippe, and I'm just following up with you guys. We talked not too awful long ago about real estate. I want to see if you guys have made a move yet. So before you go into the script, you can verify that they haven't made a move yet by just asking the question.
Okay. So
You know,
have you made your move yet, Mr. Walters?
Here's the question. The question goes like this: Philippe, this is Todd Walters, and we spoke not too long ago about real estate, and I'm just following back up to see if you guys have made a move yet.
Okay.
I'm just following back up to see if you guys have sold your home yet. I'm just following back up to see if you guys have bought a new home yet.
Okay.
And then when they say no, then you can move right into your script.
So are you planning on putting your property on the market in the next 3 to 6 months, Mr. Walters?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And when do you think that might be?
Yeah, I said yeah.
Okay. Would you like me to give you a free market evaluation to determine what your home would sell for? And also I could give you tips on what to do, and most important, what not to do to sell your home for the most amount of money. Also, if you want, we could go over all your closing costs so you would know exactly how much money you would have left in your pocket. It's a free service and you're never obligated. Do you think that would be helpful?
Well, yeah, but I've already got my home on the market right now with a friend.
Okay. Is he a realtor?
Yeah.
Why didn't you call me?
Well, I didn't. You called me.
I said, why did not you call me?
Oh, excuse me. Yeah. So number 4 there on the universal callback script, you just want to make sure you get that question. That's the only reason I did that. Is
Okay.
that just always ask, if they have an agent to help them.
Okay.
Just to save yourself the time in case they have.
Okay, let's say they do have. You say, okay, well, hope everything works well for you.
Yeah, right. I mean,
And
so
would it be okay if I followed up with you if your home expires?
you can do all that if you want to, Philippe. I think it's a waste of time.
Okay.
If somebody says, yeah, well, my home's on the market, say, okay, well, good luck selling that thing, and we'll talk to you. Thanks, bye. Just move on. So, but anyway, just don't forget that question.
Okay.
If you have any question. But anyway, that's pretty good. I mean, yeah, I think you've got a good command of the script there. I mean, you know what questions to ask. So
It's coming along. It's getting
Yeah.
better all the time.
yeah.
Thank you so much for your help, Todd.
Okay, Andrea, we got time for one more.
Yes, sir. Our final participant for this session is Scott Jones. Your mic is now open.
Andrew, did you break up? Did you say Scott Jones?
I sure did. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, you're breaking up. Can you hear me?
There you go.
Hey, Todd.
Hey, man. What you know?
I got a real unique one that actually happened about 2 hours ago, and I want to set this up, and I want to just kind of follow through it and see what happens. It came off one of our websites that we use that actually gets us seller leads, and you're actually I'm going to call you back in regards to it, and you're actually an agent, but you're trying to do a FSBO. So I'm going to end up trying to recruit you as an agent. Can we work that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. Is Todd there?
This is he.
Hey, Todd, this is Scott at Blast Real Estate. The reason I'm calling is you're on one of my websites. You're requesting some information on possibly selling your home, and I just want to follow up with you and see if I can help you in any way. Are you planning to make a move here in the next 3 to 4 months? Oh, but I want to say one other thing, Todd. It's a rental property, so it's not your home. Are you planning to make a move in the next 3 to 4 months?
Actually, no. That's a rental property that I'm trying to sell right now that I've got on the market.
Okay. Now, so it's a rental property, and so it's not something you live in. So, now, if you were to get this sold, how fast would you want to get it sold? You want to look to sell it right away? Are you?
Yeah, but I'm a realtor, so it's just an investment property. I'm just trying to get it sold.
Oh, you are a realtor, okay. Well, I got a question then. As a realtor, why did you want to try to do a for sale by owner? Why would you just put on the MLS through your brokerage?
No, well, because I can sell it here without having to pay a commission.
Okay, so obviously if you had to sell it yourself, then obviously you're not even offering the 3% on the opposite side, or you're trying to sell it just by yourself without working with anybody, is that correct?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Todd, if we could show you a better way where you could actually get more money for that property, would you be interested in possibly learning on how we could do that?
Well, how do you do that?
Well, I get to sit down and talk to you, but we have certain marketing techniques that nobody else really uses that I can possibly teach you, and we could probably get you, 102 to 103% of market value, where most agents right now are only getting about 97% of market value. And I'm sure as a realtor, you're probably very aware of that. Anybody that's trying to do a for sale by owner, the person that you're going to get coming in as a buyer is also going to want to get a discount too, because they realize you're not paying the commission, so they're going to want to get a cut of that too. So if we could show you a better way, would you be interested in sitting down and talking to me?
Yeah, I don't know. Let me get your number and I'll call you back.
Well, let me ask you this, Todd. Are you really happy with your brokerage? Because I got a feeling that you probably don't want to pay your brokerage. If I could show you a better way where we could show you some marketing techniques where you could use this not only on your property, but on other properties, would you be interested in talking to me about maybe seeing what kind of program we have to offer you?
See, I think that's what you do. I think that you just go ahead. Once you realize what it is, a real estate agent trying to sell a property, why don't you just go right to that offer?
So the chance of me getting that listing is what you think?
Like zero.
That's what I'm trying to tell my.
I shouldn't say that. I mean, there's never a zero chance, but
yeah.
But I think it's really low percentage water. I mean, unless the agent's some part-time person and doesn't sell very many houses, but seems like they would be inclined to do business with someone at their brokerage.
Well, that's the feeling I had that my ISA was on this call, and we kind of critiqued it afterwards, and then I started listening. I thought, well, this would be a perfect one to run through you. We actually do have an appointment with her on Thursday to come in and talk to us about switching brokerages.
Yeah, I think you're better off just getting to that offer, exploring that.
Okay. Well, perfect. That's kind of worked out how I thought it would, and I appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure that wanted to want to check that out and see what you thought.
Yeah, interesting. But that's pretty good, and that's pretty observant that once you identify that might be an opportunity that you guys would actually, number one, even see it, sniff it out. A lot of people would just, it's just not on their mind. So that's pretty good, just being able to see the opportunity and capitalize on it. So great job.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. A lot of different comments and calls there, so I can see that we might have missed a question or two. You're welcome to email me at tw@toddwalters.com, tw@toddwalters.com, and I'll try to get to those questions ASAP. In the meantime, coming up in next month, August 15th through 17th in Toronto, is the Platinum OSA Workshop. Now, if you've never been to a Platinum OSA Workshop, you just have to come. This is by far the best 2.5-day hands-on training that we do to make a quantum leap in your real estate business. It's the easiest way to take your business from where it is now to somewhere else, because it deals with doing everything that you do better. As a matter of fact, it takes 2.5 days to go from A to Z and show you every single part of the interior workings of the franchise prototype business, Craig Proctor and myself. Okay? So from the time the lead comes in, to getting them converted, leveraging that lead to get more business, buyers and sellers, and all the sales points in between, servicing and follow-up, and conversion, everything. Testimonials, referrals, the whole deal that makes your business better. I'm telling you, you got to be there. So if you haven't registered, get to the coaching site, click on the schedule tab and live meetings here, and get registered up for it. The Platinum OSA Workshop coming up on August 15th, 16th, and 17th in the great city of Toronto, Ontario. Okay? You can see it right here. You've got the Platinum OSA Workshop, and you have Craig's 3A Super Conference. The Platinum OSA Workshop starts the day before Craig's deal does. Okay, so let's make sure. And that's so that Craig can spend that entire day, just him and I, with you. So team leaders get there, get your key people there, and that's going to be a great 2.5-day event. And you will, I'm telling you, position yourself to make a quantum leap in your real estate business by participating in it. So there's my plug on it. But, man, it's not going to do you any good there. So with that, it's going to wrap up our lead conversion call this month. And great call. A lot of great information. Hopefully you benefited from that. let's go sell some houses. We'll talk to you guys real soon now. Take care. Bye-bye.